Hey everyone, it's Miss Mitchell. For this week, we are going to be looking at an artist named Pablo Picasso and some of the different art movements that he was a part of. And then we're going to get started with an art project this week based on his style of art. So let's get started. All right, this week we are looking at the artist Pablo Picasso. So this is a picture of Pablo Picasso on the right. He was from Spain, which is in red on this map right here. You can see that. Bring it a little bit closer. Sorry about the glare. There it is. So he's from Spain, and he lived from 1881 until 1973. And he started his painting career when he was 13 years old, so he was pretty young. So Pablo Picasso went through several different stages or periods of his career in art. So the first stage that he went through was called the Blue Period. This lasted from 1901 until 1904. And during this time, Pablo Picasso only painted in shades of blue and blue-green. So what emotions can the color blue stand for? Usually, blue tends to stand for sadness or maybe loneliness, not usually very happy. After the blue period, he came out of that and he began what's called the rose period. This lasted from 1904 until 1906, and it was characterized by a lot more oranges and pinks and reds. So, what emotions could orange and pink and red stand for? Usually, these colors stand for more energy, maybe more a little bit happier, a little bit more lively. Okay, so he came out of that sadness and loneliness that he was feeling at the time. And after the Rose period, he went a completely different direction, and he was part of a movement called Cubism. So this was from 1909 until 1912, and this style of art reduced three-dimensional forms into basic geometric shapes. So, for example, you can see this painting that he did right here. Three-dimensional forms are things like cubes, spheres, pyramids, rectangular prisms, but he drew things flat, as flat shapes. Those are two-dimensional shapes. Okay. And this was an abstract representation of the real world. So abstract means that it does not look realistic. So these people right here, they obviously don't look very, very realistic because they're made of a bunch of flat shapes. There's no sort of dimension to them. So that is Cubism. Here are a few more of the paintings that he did during his Cubism stage. Again, you can see lots of shapes, very geometric. He did create a lot of portraits in his lifetime. So a portrait is what? A portrait is a picture of a person. And in his portraits, Picasso would depict different points of view on one plane or on the canvas. So you can see in these pictures, the eyes look like they're going different directions. You can see the side profile view as well as the front of the face. So he combined that into one. And you can see that different examples of the profile and the front view on here. So the profile, you can see the side of the nose, the side of the mouth, the side of the eyes. It's more of like a triangle shape, right? And then, of course, just the regular old front view. You can see both eyes. You can see the full nose and the full mouth rather than just half of it. So he combined those into one whole face and one whole painting. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on our art assignment for this week. I'm going to put this to the side. And I want you to just grab whatever paper that you have. If you have a sketchbook, you can use a sketchbook or just any other blank paper that you have. If all you have is notebook paper, you're welcome to use that. That's what I'm going to use today. Okay. So grab your notebook paper or whatever paper you have, your sketchbook, and some sort of pencil. And hopefully you have an eraser as well, just in case you make mistakes. So we are going to be drawing our own self-portraits in the style of Pablo Picasso. So right here I have just a little worksheet with different kinds of styles of eyes and noses and different face shapes, and these are all inspired by Pablo Picasso. So remember, he paints in a very abstract way. These are not meant to look realistic or like they came from a real life photo or anything. It's much more abstract. All right, so I have this paper right here. You might want to pause it while you are drawing so you can see everything on this paper. If I'm going too fast while I'm drawing, you can also pause it, or you can rewind and replay it as many times as you need. So ignore all these, ignore the dice on the left side. We don't need to worry about that. But what I want you to do is, again, you're going to pause this video and you're going to look at each of these columns. This one's for the head, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the ears. So you're going to choose one shape from each of these columns to draw, to create your self-portrait. So for example, I think I'm going to do this face shape right here. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw that shape on my paper. Remember when you're drawing to draw big. Don't draw teeny tiny. Otherwise, it's really, really hard for me to see and it's harder for you to add details and color it in. Okay, so there's, I guess that's a little nose on the side, and then I'm going to come down and back around. So these portraits are meant to be kind of funny looking, kind of weird looking. Okay, I want you to have fun with it. Don't worry about it looking perfect. Just have fun with it. So I did my face here, okay, and you are going to need 2 eyes. So I want you to choose 2 different eyes. Don't do the same eye. I am going to choose, let's see, I'm going to do this one, this first one right here, and I'm going to do that for my left eye. There's a little triangle right there, and then these shapes around the edges, and then here's some eyelashes. Okay, so that's my first eye. I need a second eye, so I'm going to do this one right here. So I'm just going to kind of copy that shape, and then I need these eyelashes on the bottom. They're kind of just triangle shapes like this. So now that I have my eyes, I finished my eyes, I'm going to move on to the noses. So I do actually already have a nose right here. So if yours already has a nose on the side, you can skip this column. But if you did any of these other shapes, then you're going to need to add a nose. So basically, this one right here, this face shape is the only one where you don't need to draw an extra nose. Okay, but all these other ones, draw a nose from this column. All right, so I have my nose already. I'm going to move on to the lips or the mouth. And I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do this one right here. So it's kind of a little M shape at the top. And then there's a curved line here. And then a little wavy line like this. Okay. And I do need ears. Okay, everyone has ears. We all have ears, so let's draw them. I'm going to choose this one right here for the right side. It's a little kind of jelly bean shape right here. And then my left ear, I'm going to just choose this one right here. All right, so that's my face. I'm not done yet though. Make sure your face is not a floating head. Please don't make it a floating head. That means I want you to just add a line, a couple lines to show the neck, and maybe you can add some lines here just to show the shoulders or the shirt. Okay, so now it's not floating in space anymore. Okay, make sure it's not a floating head. And I do need to add hair. Okay, so make your hair look like your hair. Okay, so if you have long hair, draw your hair long. If you wear your hair in a ponytail, draw it in a ponytail. If you have short hair, then draw it short. Okay. If you need to erase any lines, you can always do that. It is good to draw lightly. If you draw too dark, then your lines will be harder to erase. Or if you press too hard with your pencil, it'll be harder to erase. So I'm just kind of erasing some of the lines that my hair is overlapping on top of. Okay. So that is my hair. Okay, it kind of parts down the middle. And if there are any other details that you would like to add to your portrait, you are welcome to. If we look back at these examples right here, you can see how Pablo Picasso has added just some different kinds of shapes to his faces. So I'm just going to do that, and then we can move on from there. So just kind of abstract shapes like this. And maybe add here. And I think I'll add one more shape, maybe just right here. And like that. All right, so I've added a few shapes. You probably don't want to go overboard on them. Don't add like too many. But yeah, go ahead and just add a few shapes. And this is it for this week. Okay, so you're gonna notice we haven't colored anything yet. Don't worry about coloring for this week. All I want you to do is draw your self-portrait in pencil. Okay, we are saving coloring for next week. So draw everything in pencil, add your details in pencil, and you're done. The very, very last thing before you are done is you need to take a picture of your artwork, whatever stage you're at. So I know it's not complete yet, but I want you to take a picture of it, and I want you to upload it and submit it to Canvas for this week's art assignment. So you can take a picture with your phone, your tablet, your Chromebook, or any other laptop or mobile device that you have. Take a picture, and when you upload it, make sure you know where it is saved on your device when you upload it. Okay, so if you're uploading it from a Chromebook, it might be under your images folder. If you're on a regular desktop or laptop, it could be in your downloads folder. If it's on your phone, it's probably in your photo gallery. Okay, just make sure you know where it's located when you upload it. Okay, so upload it to Canvas for this week's art assignment, and then you are done for this week. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.